At a Jefferson, Alabama elementary school, a 6-year-old boy was suspended for doing this, making a finger gun while playing with a classmate. His father was immediately called and reportedly told by administrators that he was suspended, that the child was suspended specifically because, quote, in this climate, this day and age, we have to take all incidents very seriously. Joining us to discuss, former Vice Chair, New Jersey Federation of Republican Women, Melanie Collette, plus Washington editor and spectator of The Spectator, Amber Athey. Great to have you both with us here. You know, Melanie, even after the parent protested, administrators told the father that the incident would remain on the student's record. They did downgrade the actual charge, so to speak, but it turns out that the infraction, they call it at this school, would be even lower, less important or dangerous if he had punched someone in the face.
Right, and that makes sense when you look at how prosecutors are dealing with crime in some of these left-wing run cities. And I'm not surprised to see this. What they're really trying to do is indoctrinate students into thinking that all guns are bad, any kind of gun is bad, unless of course you're a criminal, then you can have as many guns as you want and, you know, shoot somebody and get out of jail the next day. Then it's not a problem. But what they're doing is trying to indoctrinate these young kids by traumatizing a kid for playing cops and robbers, which is very normal for 6-year-olds to do. It's really ridiculous.
Yeah, you know, and Amber, it strikes me that they are penalizing and giving consequences to a 6-year-old child who was really playing a game that countless kids play, to Melanie's point. But then for actual criminals who do break the law, they don't even get a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, I think Melanie's right that this is about demonizing guns. You know, we would be much better served, I think, if we had young people going through gun training, you know, maybe not a 6-year-old, but maybe a little bit older, going through gun training and gun safety and understanding how these are tools and weapons and not, you know, toys. But a finger gun is obviously a different situation. This is just a little kid trying to play. It's so bizarre to me how the left is constantly trying to penalize kids for being kids, whether it's, you know, boys getting suspensions for messing around at recess, or whether it was during the lockdowns. You know, they didn't want kids on the playground equipment. They didn't want kids to be able to go to public parks, and they're making children miserable. We see this in the rise of mental illness among our young people, and it's really a shame that it's come to this, but parents are going to have to start standing up because these school administrators are totally being, you know, warped by the teachers' unions and their political agendas.
Yeah, and speaking of parents standing up for the kids, want to try to get to this quickly. Over the weekend, Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin pardoned Scott Smith. Now, he's the father who was arrested in 2021 for disorderly conduct because he disrupted a school board meeting after he got incredibly angry because his daughter was sexually assaulted in the girls' bathroom at Stonebridge High School by a boy who was wearing a skirt and claimed to be transgender. Now, of course, the father came to the meeting to confront the school board for allegedly covering up the assault on his daughter. But again, thankfully, practicality seems to prevail here, Melanie.
Absolutely. Good on Governor Youngkin for doing this. And speaking of hurting kids one more time, this school district has done irreparable damage to this young woman. First, with not having her being safe enough to not get sexually assaulted in her own school. And then second, the guilt that she probably felt with her dad getting in trouble simply trying to defend her honor and not having the school cover it up.
That's a great point. Amber, final thoughts, almost out of time.
I think this just tells you what Governor Youngkin's values are. He values parents having rights. He values people standing up for their kids. And this was a case where the parent here was accused of lying about his daughter's sexual assault. He had to stand there and look at the superintendent say that there had been no record of sexual assaults in his schools. So it's no wonder that he was riled up. And getting upset and standing up for your kid is not a crime.
All right. Well said. Amber Athey, Melanie Collette, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.